This week on Charger Bulletin News, the library gets a new director, a representative from the Hospital for Special Care visits, Judge Clifton Graves speaks at the Myatt Center, and midterms are fast approaching. Right here on Charger Bulletin News. Hello, and welcome to Charger Bulletin News. I'm Emily Lavoie.
And I'm Nick Amico. Let's get into this week's top stories. We have a lot of new additions to our campus community, including Lauren Slingluff, who is stepping into the role as the new library director. Prior to joining our university community, Slingluff gained over a decade of experience in collegiate library services. She served as the Associate Dean of the University of Connecticut's library for 4 years and served in multiple roles at Wheaton College in Massachusetts over the course of 7 years. Slingluff graduated with a bachelor's degree in religious studies and a minor in gender and sexuality studies. She also received a master's degree in library and information science from Simmons University. Slingluff plans to take time to learn more about what students like and dislike regarding the library's current state and how she can improve things going forward. For a full overview of Slingluff's plans for the future and her introduction to campus, you can read the full article in Charger Bulletin newspaper or at chargerbulletin.com.
On Wednesday, February 15th, the School for Health Sciences put together an information session to discuss volunteer opportunities at the Hospital for Special Care located in New Britain, Connecticut. The HFSC Volunteer Services and Community Relations Coordinator, Olivia Reed, went to Eklund Hall to hold the information session alongside Health Sciences Professor Ashish Upadhyaya. There are many different volunteer opportunities for students, ranging from being a dining companion or therapy partner for patients to working in the legal department. Requirements to be a volunteer include being 14 years or older, being vaccinated against COVID-19, committing to 4 to 6 months of working at the hospital, and meeting position-specific physical requirements. Benefits of being a volunteer at the hospital include receiving meal vouchers for working over 4 hours in a shift, reduced membership fees at their aquatics and fitness center, free flu shots, and free parking. If you are interested in being a volunteer at the HFSC, visit their website at hfsc.org.
Last Friday, the Muslim Student Association invited Judge Clifton Graves to the Myatt Center for Diversity and Inclusion as a guest speaker for Black History Month. Graves is a probate judge, an experienced lawyer, and an advocate for social change. He worked on Project Fresh Start, which included assisting residents returning home from incarceration. Graves also was awarded with Alumnus of the Year from Frederick Gunn School and the Distinguished Citizen Award from Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro. Graves started his speech by having the audience repeat, quote, "Mountain, move out of my way. Mountain of intolerance, move out of my way. Mountains of indifference, move out of my way. Mountain of injustice, move out of my way. Because I am somebody, and I can be anything, will be anything, anything I want to be. With my mind, I can conceive it, and my heart can believe it. And I know I can achieve it. Mountain, mountain, move out of my way." After urging the students in the audience to educate and enlighten each other in the name of inclusion, Graves asked the audience to repeat the same phrase he had in the beginning of the speech. To check out more Black History Month events, look under the Happening on Campus tab on My Charger.
With the end of February coming quick, midterms are right around the corner. If you're looking for a resource to help you study, academic peer mentors are available to help students with organization and study skills. APMs are assigned to first-year residence halls as well as first- and second-year commuter students. If you'd like to schedule an appointment with your APM, you can find them during their resource hours in their assigned halls, in the Center for Student Success, or by making an appointment through Navigate. The Center for Learning Resources is also ready and available to assist you. The CLR is located in the lower levels of the Peterson Library. The Center for Learning Resources is stocked with both peer and professional tutors at no cost and provides assistance in multiple areas of study. A full list of supported subject areas can be found on their page at newhaven.edu. Their hours of operation are in person Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., online Friday from 9:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., and online Sunday from 3 p.m. to midnight. Appointments are best made through Navigate, but walk-ins are also welcome. For more specific information on the benefits for the Center for Learning Resources office, refer to My Charger under the Center for Learning Resources tab. Now we will go to Will Hank with this week's sports. What do you have for us, Will?
Thanks, guys, and welcome to the Charger Sports Report. My name is Will Hank, and we have a lot to cover, so let's get into it. The track and field teams had their conference championships last week. The men's team placed second out of 9 with notable performances by Jordani Delai, who took home the gold in the men's 60-meter hurdles with a time of 8.23 seconds, and Cole Parker, who placed second in the men's long jump with a distance of 6.81 meters. The women's team placed 6th out of 10 in their section. Molly Clark placed second in the women's pole vault with a distance of 2.73 meters. Meanwhile, Kristen Washington again had an impressive showing, placing third in both the women's long jump and the women's triple jump. The track and field teams will have one more chance to show off their skills at a last chance meeting against SCSU. The basketball teams had a full plate this week. With playoffs looming large, the Chargers want to cement their place in the Northeast 10 standings. The men's team carried out a dominant showing against Staten Island early in the week, winning 83-60. Senior forward Ty Perry put up 20 points in the effort. The women's team also won against Staten Island, but the game was a whole lot closer as the Chargers were able to squeak out a win against the Dolphins 56-54 after a last-second score from Cameron DeBose.
Mission up came down to a winning shot. We got to do better because we're playing Lemoyne this weekend. But yeah, I'm just happy with the win under our belt so we can carry the momentum to this weekend.
DeBose not only put the Chargers ahead in the final second, but she also helped organize the event of the evening, calling attention to the Black Lives Matter movement.
Also, I didn't do this by myself, so I had help from BSU. They really came in and helped with ideas as well. And Bianca, an alumni, Bianca Chambers, came up with the idea for the shirt. So I'm very thankful that I had people to lean on.
The special pregame warm-up shirts were worn by players and spirit groups. A few of the shirts were also given away during the game.
We have a big platform. People come to our games and they root for us. So if we stand for something, maybe they'll jump in and want to stand for something as well. I feel like representation matters. So if I can represent for the Black community, hopefully other people can want to be allies and advocate for the Black community as well.
As a student athlete, DeBose feels the pressure to make an impact.
I hope they see more about the Black community, learn more about the Black community. That's why I want it to be engaging. I want people to show up and to know that Black Lives Matter isn't about exclusion, but inclusion.
After this game, the Chargers headed up to Syracuse to play conference opponent Lemoyne. The women's team was completely shut down on offense, losing 77-45. The men's team, though, was able to pull out a 62-57 win after facing a deficit at halftime. Coming into the last game of the regular season against St. Anselm, the men's and women's team were hoping to boost their record right before the Northeast 10 playoffs. The women's team was hoping to capture home court advantage for the first round with a win. The men's team had a chance to lock up either the third or second seed, depending on how things progressed. The women's team was first to face St. Anselm and didn't disappoint. After a rough start, the Chargers were able to come back and win 67-59 in this thrilling match. With this win, the women's team was able to lock up the 5th seed in the Northeast 10 playoffs and home court for the first round of the playoffs. The men's team tried to stage a comeback of their own, but unfortunately came up just short of victory in the final seconds to lose 65-64. This bitter end of the regular season won't affect the Chargers' playoff standings, though. The men's team has the 4th seed in the conference locked up and a home game in the first round. With the stage all set, the basketball teams will be hosting the first round of the playoffs this Friday. The women's team will be facing off against Franklin Pierce, while the men's team will be taking on American International. That's it for this week's Charger Sports Report. I'll see you next week. Back to you guys at the desk.
If you've been to any football games at North Campus to support the Chargers, you may have noticed the color guard during the halftime performances. But did you know that there is a competitive season during winter? Right now, the Winter Guard is practicing for their own competitions, the closest being this Saturday, February 25th, at Naugatuck High School as part of the Musical Arts Conference Circuit. The competition season is already in swing, but Saturday will mark the first of our Winter Guard, putting pressure on the team to perform just as well as the teams who have a few competitions under their belt already. If you want to support Winter Guard, tickets for these conference competitions are $15 for adults and $8 for children under 10 for local competitions, while championship tickets are $17 for adults and $10 for children under 10. Updates about upcoming performances and other Winter Guard information can be found at the Color Guard Instagram at UNew Haven Color Guard.
Coming up next, applications for the Nashville Study Away program are open, Ash Wednesday observance, and a new Alvine lecture is coming up next week. But first, we head to Justin Coviello with Student Life. What's going on this week, Justin?
Thanks, guys. On Saturday, February 18th, the Black Student Union and the Myatt Center for Diversity and Inclusion collaborated to host a Black History Month soul food networking brunch, open for all to attend. The food was catered by local soul food restaurant Sandra's Next Generation, featuring collard greens, chicken, mac and cheese, cornbread, and sweet potato pie for dessert. as students were graced with cookout music throughout. Also present at the event was Reverend Odell Montgomery Cooper, the author of Interruptions, Disrupting the Silence, and her team. Cooper led attendance in a prayer before they dug into their food and delivered a powerful keynote speech about the struggle to deal with trauma and grief within the Black community. For future events from the Black Student Union and the Myatt Center, check them out on Charger Connection. This week is Engineers Week, or E-Week, for the Tagliatelle College of Engineering, and they've held a ton of events for the entire student body to celebrate. Kicking off on Monday, February 20th, the Society of Women Engineers sponsored a networking event, as well as a visit from Gilbert the Pig. On Tuesday, the American Society of Mechanical Engineers held a Build a Mini Arcade event. The Robotics Club hosted a Robot Capture the Flag event, and the Women in Cybersecurity had a mocktails and trivia social. On Wednesday, students were invited to make their own stress balls, hosted by the Engineering Council. And today, the STEM Career Fair is being held from 1 to 4 p.m. in the Rec Center. Engineers Without Borders is having a Kahoot night from 4 to 5:30 p.m. in Bergami Room 302. And the American Institute of Chemical Engineers is helping students make their own slime from 5 to 6 p.m. in Buckman Room 310C. Finally, on Friday, there will be a virtual reality arcade in Bergami Room 303 from 2 to 5 p.m., and the American Society of Civil Engineers will be having their Carhartt Fashion Show in the German Club from 6 to 8 p.m., so make sure to show up in your best blue-collar fits. Students who attend at least 4 of the weekly events and get a stamp from each organization on their passports being handed out will enter a drawing for a $100 and a $50 Amazon gift card. For more information on these events, visit the post under the Happening on Campus tab on MyCharger.
On Wednesday, Maxey Hall Room 124 hosted an information session about the Nashville Study Away program for the music industry and music and sound recording majors. If you've never heard of this program, it is a semester-long study away program where accepted students live in Nashville, take classes at Blackbird Studio, and intern with one of many recording studios or music companies that call Nashville home. Requirements of the program include being a junior in good standing with a 3.0 overall GPA and with a 3.2 within their major, and having completed all course prerequisites for the Nashville courses. These prerequisites must be completed by the end of the fall semester of your junior year. All applicants will have their conduct and academic integrity records reviewed and must submit a resume. A committee of music department faculty will decide which applicants will be accepted. Applications are open until March 26th, and all information about the cost of the program is available at newhaven.edu on the Nashville Study Away page.
On Wednesday, members of the university community celebrated Ash Wednesday, which marks the beginning of the season of Lent for Christian communities. In observance of Ash Wednesday, a prayer service was held in the German Club, which also gave participating community members to receive ashes. Alternative services were held at local churches, which were listed in an announcement on MyCharger. Dining Services is also doing its part in preparing meals that reflect this season, as well as other upcoming religious traditions like the observances of Ramadan and Passover. We remind students that all students are welcome to use the Interfaith Prayer Room, located on the first floor of 15 Rudin Street. The space is open to students without reservation.
Coming up next week is a presentation within the Al Vine Lecture Series. This event, titled One Path to a Successful Career Rooted in a Technical Foundation. The visiting speaker is Mike Ambrose, a New Haven alum from the class of '84, and is a retired vice president of enterprise business transformation for Sikorsky Aircraft, a Lockheed Martin company. Ambrose currently holds the position of vice chair of the university's Board of Governors. During his time as a student, Ambrose was a student athlete and still holds multiple school track records. He is also a member of both the Athletic Hall of Fame and Engineering Hall of Fame. The presentation will be held on Thursday, March 2nd from 3 to 4 p.m. in Buckman Hall, room 120. That's all the time we have for this week.
You can check out the latest Charger Bulletin newspaper on chargerbulletin.com or in newsstands around campus.
Stay up to date by following us on social media at Charger Bulletin.
Check out our link tree for access to the Horseshoe magazine.
Thanks for joining us this week. I'm Emily Lavoie.
And I'm Nick Amico. See you next time on Charger Bulletin News.